Hello, 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 fellow crows. Welcome to a new episode of the New Watchers on the Wall. Tonight, we are discussing and reviewing the movie A Fire Inside, starring Ryan Destiny and Tyree Henry.
And the thing about it is, this is one of the best movies I've seen this year. And it is surprising me that more people are not talking about this film.
Now, when we say this year, we mean 2024.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we
Yeah,
mean
you got to make
2024.
that clear.
Yes. Personally, I went and saw the film. I've seen it twice.
Mm,
And I went when you guys were out of town to see it. And I was so enamored and impressed with the film that I said, hey, when y'all get home, we got to go see it. We got to go take our son to see it because there were so many valuable lessons to be learned, I felt like, in the film. So, what were some of the standout moments or things that you thought made the film resonate so much with you?
um, just how uh, Clarissa felt like she was responsible for her whole family, even though she was still a kid. In the beginning of the movie, you see that progression of her caring for her family throughout the movie until her young adulthood, making sure that her siblings ate and trying to buy diapers. And I really it really made me feel like, man, like this young kid, she can't live her life for her, or she feels like she can't live her life for herself and do what's best for her. I mean, at the end she figures it out, right?
Yeah.
Something triggers her from what her coach said, her coach Jason. Something made her think, oh, he was right. Okay, so I need to go on another direction. And also her trying to pawn her gold medal, her feeling responsible, financially responsible for her family, to where she had to give up this possession that
She had worked so
she
hard
had
for.
worked so hard for, even though she felt at the time that it was like, what was it for? Like, for what? But, just that feeling of that responsibility of, I got to give up everything that I've worked hard for and the symbol of my hard work so I can try to provide for my family.
Yeah, and it's definitely an interesting story, and many things resonated with me. In particular, some of the things like that you said. For example, a lot of times in the Black community, when you have a child become successful, especially it seems like through sports, everybody wants to ride that coattail, right? We've seen that a lot with NBA players, NFL players, how when they make it now they got to try to bring everybody along with them. And in some ways, it bankrupts them, it puts them in a bad position financially. And we saw that in this film, not necessarily that it bankrupted her, but how she had everybody depending on her to be successful, and how even people come out of the woodworks to want to take part in this success. Like when we see her father, who I guess gets released from incarceration, and he's like, "Yeah, that's my daughter," and so on and so forth. But it's like, well, where were you? Did you help make your daughter a success? And
And then how he tried to uh badmouth Jason the coach for not being able to get her endorsements. Like, this is your job. That made me so mad watching that,
mhm.
cuz the whole time I'm thinking, like, dude, where were you? That man raised her and trained her for free. Didn't
Yep,
have to. And he stepped in when you were incarcerated, and you have the nerve to come to this man and tell him that he's not doing enough.
exactly.
That was insane to me. I
Yeah.
just, that really ticked me off. Now that I'm thinking about it again, it's making me mad all over again.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of those moments, and then even when she made it to the Olympics, and she wasn't allowed to bring her coach with her because he
Mm,
didn't have those very specific boxing certifications and those
clearances.
clearances, right?
Mm.
And it goes back to access, resources, even though he was trying to help her grow and to go somewhere.
And his training got her to the
Olympics,
Olympics.
he
He
still
wasn't
wasn't
good
good
enough.
enough. He wasn't good enough still to take part. And we saw how him not being able to be there and coach her up cost her a match, so to speak. But you just got a chance to see it was a display of how access is so important.
Mhm.
So some of the things, just even besides like, some of those main things that we saw, some of the things I also loved about the film was the cinematography and the lighting. Man, they did an amazing job because a lot of
It's hard to like black people.
not only that, but when you think about it, a lot of what we saw in there, besides like her fighting and stuff like that, like or when she went to the Olympics, most of this was shot in her home, in a boxing gym, in her bedroom, in the living
Mhm.
room in her home, because they wanted us to see how they have a small home. There's a lot of people who live in this one home.
It gave you the feeling of being claustrophobic almost.
Yes, they wanted to show you how, hey, look at that.
The up
You got the
close
sibling,
the up
the
close camera angles. Yeah.
yes, the sisters in the bedroom, the brothers in the bedroom, and her little babies, and all these people are sharing one bedroom. So they wanted
A
to show us
bed.
that.
A
Yeah, a bed,
bed.
right? But just think about how is it as a filmmaker, right? And some people they don't think about this or see this. It is incredibly hard to film in tight, small spaces and still make it have character and make it interesting to
Uh-huh.
watch
And impact.
and impact. And they did a lot of things well when it came to the film as
Yeah.
related to that.
Shout out to Barry Jenkins. He really knows how to color grade and do those angles and making it his direction making you feel like it's like almost like the camera angles and the ambience of what is being shot is like a character
Yeah.
almost. It's like an omnious presence around you. But yeah, I really love the message of this movie. You know, our child wants to go to the Olympics. They're a swimmer, a very good swimmer. He wants to go to the Olympics. And he said something to me when he was watching the part where the team was watching Michael Phelps swim and win the gold medal. He's like, that's going to be me in a couple years. I'm going to go to the Olympics in a couple years. And for him to see that and see that there are people like him who go to the Olympics, go and compete at that level, it made him, really see, oh, this is really like this is a thing, So I love seeing that and hearing him say to himself, "Oh man, it's gonna be me. Oh yeah, I gotta work this. I gotta work hard. I gotta do the." He because not only did he watch that part, he saw the process that she went through, the training, the constant training when nobody is
Wasn't
watching,
around.
her getting up and doing those,
And doing it
running
herself a
and
lot of
doing it
times.
on her own,
Run into the
right?
gym on her own, get into the
Mhm.
gym, not expecting your parent to wake you up to get you somewhere. And there's a lot that can be learned from this film. Like just I was inspired in a lot of different ways. As a filmmaker, I was
Mhm.
inspired when I saw her work ethic, what she was accomplishing, and even how she was fighting for equal pay. She said, "Don't just
Mhm.
pay me if I come down there.
Pay all the
Pay all the women
females.
boxers the same amount that you're paying the male boxers." So it was overall fantastic film. Let's go ahead and rate it. How many gold medals since she was winning gold
Is it out
medals?
of 5 or 10?
How many gold out of 10? How many gold medals would you give the movie?
9.5. 9.5.
9.5.
Yeah.
I could see that. Yeah. I'm giving it like a 9.5 as well. Like I enjoyed it, and as we're talking about our rating, I see that on IMBD it has a 7 out of 10. I don't know how,
I don't know why.
but maybe that's the trailer that they rated. But it
Mm.
looks like Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 95.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
because it was a really solid film, and I think it's a great family film. I think if you have young
Mhm.
people in your family that
Especially
are
if they're in
athletes.
sports, girls who are in sports, even boys who are in
Hmm.
sports, take them to go see this movie. Take the family to go see this movie because I think again, a very important aspect of this movie is showing that adults and parents, you should not be making your child responsible for you even though they are talented and you see that they can become successful. It is not their job to take care of you. It's your job to take care of them.
Mm. Mm,
Yeah.
I like it. And thank you guys for watching.
Message.
I know that's right. Message. And as always, we'll catch you in our next video because our watch has ended.
Bye.
Peace.